All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another XTIVIA live session, our first live session of the year, Manufacturing and CRM Part 1, presented by Lynn, Scheurell, and Mike Ahrenhoersterbaeumer. My name is Alex Killian, and I'm the video editor and digital media specialist on XTIVIA's marketing team. Before we dive into our live session this morning, I would love to tell you just a little bit about our company. XTIVIA was established in 1992, and since then, we've established a proven reputation as a company that delivers leading-edge IT solutions and technology support for our clients' specific requirements. Our service areas include app development, BIDW, CRM, ERP, data management, web portal, digital experience design, and EIM services and solutions. And XTIVIA's success stems from a demonstrated ability to deliver deep expertise via professional services, empowering our clients to leverage their chosen technology successfully, competitively, and profitably. And XTIVIA has offices in Colorado, Austin, Edison, Great Neck, New York, Maryland, and Virginia. And today we will be hearing from Mike Ahrenhoersterbaeumer, Sales and Account Executive for CRM here at XTIVIA. Mike has worked out of our CRM practice at XTIVIA for 7 years now, and he has vast experience with many of the major CRM platforms. Mike greatly enjoys helping companies find the right CRM solution and seeing how it truly benefits their organization over time. And today we'll also be hearing from Lynn Scheurell, the lead digital strategist for XTIVIA. Lynn has been creating experiences through content and copy in digital marketing and messaging since 1998. She is known for her unique perspective, positive, empowering mindset, and abilities as a high communicator to deliver significant value. She translates complex concepts into simple clarity for practical action. Lynn and Mike, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Happy to be here.
So let's just kick things off and go over what we're going to be talking about today, because there's a lot. And so, we're going to be moving. But, and also this is the first in a two-part series. There's going to be a part 2 of this because there's so much we want to share. So we're going to cover the top 3 business opportunities in manufacturing, a couple of key factors that shape the customer relationships for manufacturers, 2 competing aspects of manufacturing, common issues that a CRM can solve for manufacturers, 3 make or break elements for CRM and manufacturing. Why should you even have a CRM system? And what are some of the should have functionalities that you need to look for in a good CRM system? So we're going to be moving. And one of the things, that my dentist once said, you only want to floss the teeth you want to keep. And the same is true, I think, for CRMs. I don't know. What do you think, Mike? I mean, you want to keep your customers. You need to manage them in a CRM or some other, way to keep track of everything. CRM is the best way, or you risk losing them, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, especially if you want to grow as a company, right? You got to have some type of solution that helps you track your information, helps you track your customers, your prospects, ties in with your back-end system, which I don't want to jump too far ahead because I know these are some of the things that we're going to get into today and on the next session. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. If you want to grow as a company, if you want to be successful as a company, you have to have some CRM to help you do that. The days of, index cards, post-it notes, and spreadsheets, hopefully, are behind us. But, I know that's still a big thing in the manufacturing industry, and we'll touch on that a little bit today. So,
absolutely. Well, manufacturing, like every other industry, has unparalleled opportunities and growth for delivering greater customer value, streamlining operations, adapting to customer conversations real time. And so here are the 3 top business opportunities for manufacturing today. These might not seem like rocket science, but they're important. I don't. Is there one that you want to pick out, Mike, and maybe spend just a couple of minutes talking about?
Yeah, all these are very good ones, and they are super important. The one that really, from my perspective, piques my interest and I kind of like talking about is the IoT, the Internet of Things, right? I think from a competitive value perspective, a personalized marketing perspective, those are extremely important too. But those are, I think, are things that people have at least an understanding of those are areas that they need to grow. They need to make sure that they're doing a good job in. But this IoT is a little bit newer, right? This Internet of Things. long gone are the days of, your sales reps, your service reps, field service reps, they're on the road. They need to log their notes. They need to keep the team up to date on what happened and going back to your hotel room and doing it all there at night or when they get back together. Now, in today's age, everybody's connected at all times, right? Whether it's your smartphone, whether it's your tablet, heck, even I just got one of these smartwatches, or Apple Watch, right? And now I get notifications on my phone if, I'm inside of my CRM and, somebody needs me to approve something, right? I can get that right on my Apple Watch and boom, it's approved and it's on to the next phase, right? So that's where I think it's very interesting because not only is it just staying in touch, but now you have all these new features, AI, robotics, machine learning that we're, really starting to just kind of scratch the surface of, but especially in manufacturing, there's so many aspects where that can play a vital role, right? So no longer are you going to get, hopefully, stuck and not be able to get anything done until, you get in there the next day. Being able to be connected, and when all of these things are so vital in the business world now, especially in something like manufacturing where there's so many tiny things that go into it, I do think the IoT, the Internet of Things, is going to be something that's very interesting to watch as it continues to move forward. I think it's still in the very early and young stages, where we're at today, which is, oh boy, hard to believe, but 2019 now. So.
Well, we are in the always on and on-demand economy, which is also adding even more pressure because people expect nearly instantaneous results. They want immediate gratification, right? So,
oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's no longer, granted, I'm on the sales side, mine's a little bit different, but, I typically try to because I'm right there, right? I'm not, unless it's something really, basic, I'm not waiting until the next day to respond. I'm at least kind of sending a response that night, middle of the night, whenever it is that I see it come in, right? Because now you kind of gotten to the point where a lot of times that's, to be expected these days, right? Because everybody knows you're always in the go, always in touch, always can get back to them no matter what it is. So.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, and really that brings us to, talking a little bit about customer experience. Customer experience is the only sustainable advantage that we have in business today. And a good CRM makes sure that you have that advantage. So two specific key factors that shape customer relationships for manufacturers include customer service, which you might want to talk about that, and also in terms of sales, how to help your team track what you're selling and talking about all that kind of stuff. Do you want to share a little bit on this?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm kind of going to flip them around a little bit if you don't mind. So I'm going to touch on the sales piece first, right? Sales, it's a big job, right? No group, no company can be successful without it, but there's so much that goes into it, right? Who am I talking to? When am I calling them? Why am I calling them? What am I calling them about? Which products am I pitching them on? But not just, what am I pitching them on? What do they already have, right? Because you need that 360-degree view. Instead of picking up the phone and calling somebody back in the office to tell me, hey, what was their last order? What did they purchase from us? When did they purchase it? Are they due for another order? Whatever it is. I don't have to, waste my time to call somebody in the office to do it. I don't have to waste their time for them to look because with the CRM, you can get that 360-degree view. So I can just go right to my system, whether it's on my computer like we're talking on today, whether it's on my phone. Like I said, maybe it's on your Apple Watch. I don't know. But I can go in there and I can go see that information right away. So then not only do you get that 360-degree view, but that can help you tailor your conversation to your prospects, to your customers as to what they need, what's going to be best suit them moving forward that you can help offer them, right? But taking that, to the next level, it's not just the sales aspect, right? It also brings in that customer service. So once you've brought them on as a client, they're a valued client of yours, you got to provide them with good ongoing service, right? So you need to know, okay, whatever are these issues they might be having, are they having issues? When are they having them? Is it related to, did they get the wrong thing shipped to them? Was something broken? Was it defective? What's the issues that they're having? Not only what are they having, how often are they having them? What do they have to do with? What's the issue, the category it might be in? These are all things that you can, start tracking in a CRM and then report on, right? So not only at the lower level, but the management level, then you can start to see these things. So if you're noticing in product A, that, there have been 12 people that have called in with a defect on it. That seems to be a major issue, right? So that should probably be something that you want to look into and try to get resolved, right? But these things then, this having the CRM to allow you to help your customer service team and not only expedite things and get them done quicker, but get out ahead of them, right? If I'm a sales rep and I'm going to call on one of my customers, I want to know ahead of time if they had any issues, what are the issues they've had, because I don't want to get blindsided by that. That's no fun, right? Nobody likes that. So getting out ahead of it from there. And then again, going back to, if we're seeing the same things over and over, being able to resolve those issues and get out ahead of them before they even really start getting to more customers. So those are two just areas right there from the sales and customer service perspectives that can be extremely, extremely useful.
Well, at any point in the manufacturing process, if anything goes sideways, it could be a small detail, and any one of those things could cause you to lose a customer, and not only the customer, but the business, the relationship, all the potential referrals from them. And it could be something small and correctable if you catch it in time and address it appropriately, right? And the CRM helps you do that.
Oh, yeah, it can help you get way out ahead of it. Like you said, the smallest of little things, right, could have such a downhill effect that, you could have just got out ahead of, you had the right solution in place, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's talk about a little bit more about two competing aspects of manufacturing, in that the manufacturing industry is unique when it comes to CRM software because each organization has specific needs, and they also have the overlapping goal of delivering a great customer experience. So they have to have an ERP, an enterprise resource planning solution that handles all the back end stuff. And they also need to drive relationships with customers, and no ERP system can handle tracking that level of detail. So the question becomes, Mike, what do you say when somebody says, oh, can a big box solution address my manufacturing company's business targets? How would you respond to that?
My typical answer would just be, if you're saying, an out-of-the-box solution, you go online, you find one of the big ones out there, whatever it might be, can it fit your needs? Right out of the box, no, it's typically not going to be successful, right? All of these CRMs, no matter which one you use, which ones you're looking at, they all do a lot of the same things, right? They help you manage your customers. They help you manage your sales pipeline, your customer service requests, all that stuff. They all do a lot of those same things. They all do them a little bit differently. Some do things better than others. You know how it all is, right? But the main thing to note is that out of the box, those things are pretty canned. Like you called it a box solution, I think, Lynn, right? That's a good way to describe it, because every single organization, especially in manufacturing, they do a lot of the same things, but there are also a lot of things that you do differently, right? So every single company, every single manufacturing organization needs their CRM to be architected and configured to meet your business needs, right? What data points do you want to track, right? What, from a management perspective, are you looking to report on? What is important to you, not only from a sales process, but a service process, a field service process, all of that good stuff. What are you looking to track? So what data points are important to you, your organization? What are the processes that you have in place? What's super manual for you right now, right? What are some things that we could do and leverage in a CRM stack and a CRM solution that would really automate these processes and speed things up for you, right? So, maybe something that currently takes you an hour every day to do, you don't even have to touch it anymore, right? It's automated. It just happens. Then you start saving people time. That time can be used to maybe resolve more customer inquiries. Maybe it's focused more on sales. Think about all the money that can be made just by automating certain of those processes. But those processes do have to be configured for you, right? So that's where it's useful to have somebody like, I'm not going to name drop, but an XTIVIA maybe, to come in and, kind of sit down with you and meet with you to understand what are those processes that you're trying to kind of automate and speed up to really help your team moving forward. So I know I probably gave a long-winded answer. I like to hear myself talk sometimes, but to answer your first question, a box solution, not necessarily going to work for you. It really does need to be, you need to take the time to do it right and, configure it to meet your needs and processes right out of the box for you. So,
Well, I think another benefit that needs to be called out too is that, when you use all the manual systems, there's greater potential for human error, whereas a CRM will help correct that, it'll catch it, and it will also connect the dots in a way to make it more seamless. for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and especially, and I didn't really touch on it when I spoke, but you mentioned it right here in bullet point 1. Manufacturers, you have to have an enterprise resource planning system, right? So, and I'm not going to go into all the different things that it can do for you there. You guys know that. You probably all have one in place. You should have one in place. But one of the things again that CRM can do is CRM does a much better job of tracking your prospects and steadying and improving that relationship with your customers. That's where CRM can, one of the areas where they can come in very handy. But having those two systems talking to each other and having that happen, that makes everybody's job easier. No longer do you have, duplicate data entry. Again, I mentioned it earlier, but no longer do I have to pick up the phone and call somebody back in the office to give me some information on maybe its inventory. How much do we have left of this product? Or what was the last time, customer A ordered from us, right? Having all that information tied together, again, just makes everybody's job a hell of a lot easier, and it gives you that 360-degree view of your customers.
Well, it also makes it so that, so a field rep could be out there talking to somebody and create a proposal on the spot, right? Or give some sort of an estimate.
Sure.
So it just makes everything seamless and easy. That's actually
doing that from their phone, right? So
right.
They're doing that from their tablet, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Or from their watch, even. If you know.
I know. I should stop harping on that, but it is pretty cool. I'm pretty fascinated with it. So.
It is. Let's talk about some common issues that the CRM systems can solve for manufacturers. These are 4 really, kapow kind of elements when you start to think about them. So any thoughts you want to share on this, Mike?
Yeah, so, you got to look at it this way. These are just 4 of the major ones, right? This is it looks like a study done by manufacturers research, or a manufacturers research study done by manufacturing.net. These are just some of the major ones, right? Innovate more products more quickly. Again, because you have this CRM, you can start to track and report, again, what products are being leveraged, right? Not only what products are being leveraged, but, maybe what things about those products are customers not thrilled about. What would they like to see done better, right? What would make their lives easier? So, helping you innovate those products and, having a better understanding of your customers as to the products or services, I don't want to, eliminate that, but that you're using, if you have a CRM, you can track that information and then start to spot some trends, right? So where are we going? Where is it going to go? What do we need to get out ahead of? What should we be focusing on as a company? What changes should we make moving forward? It's a big word that everybody's talking about, and I think we'll get more into it next on the next session. But that digital transformation, right? That's something that everybody's really focused on right now, and should be, especially in the manufacturing space. So having this solution that allows you to build off those trends, spot what's coming, and change the way you operate and maneuver can just help you get out ahead of your competitors and grow even faster and just become a much better organization all around. So I know these are, 4 of the major ones listed. Don't get me wrong, there's plenty of more, and you don't have to tackle all of them at once, and I'll get into that here in a minute, but these are 4 of the major ones that CRM can help, manufacturing organizations solve today for sure. Mm-hmm.
Well, there's one, I have a thought in my head. I worked with a manufacturer some time ago, and as a result, I learned about the theory of constraints. And so when you have a CRM, it helps you identify and then either eliminate or at the very least neutralize. You can address each of those constraints to move the process along and make it more efficient all the way along. So, so I just wanted to pop that in there because, when you identify the constraints and get them resolved, then everything's a lot smoother, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that kind of just sparked something in my head. So I don't mean to jump ahead, Lynn, but would you mind flipping to the next slide real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so one of the things on here too, right? So again, 3, make or break elements for CRM, right, and manufacturing. We've really talked a lot about the second and third one, I think already, right, giving you that full 360-degree view, so you can see what our customers have ordered, how many issues they had, all that good stuff, right? We've talked a lot about the sales aspect. What's in my pipeline, what's expected to close, how many deals am I getting, how much money am I bringing us, all that stuff. We've talked about that. We haven't spent a ton of time on the marketing automation piece, but that's another, aspect of CRM, building out marketing campaigns. spotting trends, sending out email blasts, doing drip campaigns, target marketing to certain, industries, to certain companies of certain sizes, whatever it might be. These are all things that a CRM can help do within manufacturing. But the reason I actually wanted you to kind of go to the next slide is the bullet point on the left, and that's sales forecasting. So I was just working with a manufacturing customer of mine, I guess it was last year at this point. And, one of the things that they are finding useful with CRM is not just, when we see sales forecasting, that's not, how much money am I going to close or how much business am I going to close, this month or this quarter or this year. That's also looking down past the sales as well. So as a manufacturing customer or company, you need to not only, focus on the sales aspect, but be aware of, from a product perspective, from an actual manufacturing perspective, we need to get out ahead of that. Okay, if I know that I'm going to be selling X number of this product, then we need to make sure that that's been scheduled, that's been purchased, we have the parts for it, we have the supplies needed in order to meet those projected orders, right? So that right there alone, a CRM can help you do. It's not just a sales, pipeline tool, sales forecasting from what I am going to close. It is super useful from that perspective, but also to get out ahead and make sure you're not going to have any inventory or supply issues, none of that stuff, because with a tool like this, you're ahead of the game and you're ready to rock and roll when that order when you get it signed on the dotted line, which is a good feeling. So.
Well, and that's really where it begins, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Doing good business means managing expectations all the way through the process. And that's what you're basically saying, is that you have the ability to project ahead, communicate everything, make sure everything's going to be smooth. I believe that one of the concepts for me that's really standing out is that technology needs to be invisible. It really just needs to be frictionless, seamless, easy, and that's what you're talking about here with the CRM. So let's look at, a little bit more about some of the specific functionalities that manufacturers need when it comes to getting a CRM system. So I think this slide really speaks to maybe departments or teams within the company, the manufacturing company, and how they might benefit. Anything you want to say specific to this?
No, I mean, the thing I want to talk to here a little bit is, again, kind of what I referenced a couple slides ago is, these are a lot of things where CRMs can certainly help, right? But a CRM is a platform, right? So, again, the things that it can help you with, the options really are endless. So don't look at this, slide. Don't look at this slide and think, okay, I'm looking to try to do this, and I don't see that on here. Don't think that CRM is not a fit for you, right? But again, these are some of the major things that it can help each of the groups with. The management, you want to see, more insights. You want to spot trends ahead of time. You want to know profitability, right? On the management side, you probably want to know how profitable you are. Those are the things that, CRMs can help with. But, and I'm not going to spend, I'm not going to dive too much into the, some of the things that marketing gets and sales gets and operations gets. You see the slide right there. You can kind of comb through it if there's certain things that interest you. And if you want to know more, we'll show you how you can reach us. But one of the things that I do want to kind of touch on here, and this gets into the, really probably the next couple slides, is the actual, implementation of it, the rollout of CRM.
Yeah, let's look at functionalities. Let's talk, just, this is just kind of the highlights. I mean, there's so much more that goes with it, right? So. Sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just like it with any manufacturing process, the right tool gets the job done. So don't get me wrong. Like, you need to, take your time and look at the options that are out there and pick the tool that's going to fit you best, no matter what, right? But one thing that I want to make sure of, and you can see, there's a list on here. It says, am I looking to track sales, better sales tracking? Am I becoming to look more, or trying to get more automated around marketing, integrations with my back-end systems? Do I want to do some social media integration, customer support, build out a portal, whatever it might be? These are some of the major things that CRM can help with. But again, one of the things that I just want to reiterate is, as a manufacturing organization, you may not have a CRM yet today. You may have one in place that, it's old, and hasn't been touched in a while. You need to upgrade it or go a different route because it's really fallen behind the times. You may look at this and get a little overwhelmed and say, oh my God, like, this is going to overhaul everything that I'm going to do. Or, I always try to say, don't freak out, right? A lot of people, do like the term, walk or maybe crawl before you walk, before you run, right? Or walk before you run. You don't have to, as an organization, tackle all of these things at one time, right? That can lead to, all kinds of issues. Now, if you're set up for it, you're ready to handle it, you've done the research, fantastic. But a lot of times doing really what we call the phased rollout is something that works to organizations' benefit much, much better. It's a little bit more seamless. You take to the system much easier because, it's a new system. You have to be properly trained on it. Taken through all the proper protocols and make sure you have an understanding on how to work this thing, right? It's going to become a part of your daily lives. So a lot of times we tell people, focus on the sales and marketing aspect first, right? Let's get you in there. Let's understand your business. What are you trying to do here? Let's automate your sales processes. Let's automate some marketing things for you, right? Let's automate the order entry process, whatever it might be, but let's focus on sales and marketing. Get you up and running, get you trained on it, get you rocking and rolling and the solution around that. And then shortly after, once you've gotten, comfortable in the system, now let's come back and let's tackle the customer service. Let's tackle the customer support. Let's tackle whatever it may be, but doing it in a phased rollout definitely can help make it a much more seamless and smooth, rollout for your organization. So, but it's a powerful platform. They can do a lot of good things for you. It's not just sales and marketing, trust me. So,
well, and speaking of phased rollout, there's actually 3 key support areas, kind of buckets of services, if you will. There's the pre-implementation phase, implementation, and then post-implementation. And so this is something that, I think it's really helpful. For me, the post-implementation kind of sings to me, of course, as a strategist, because, I think it's great. You get the keys to a Lambo, but you don't know how to start the engine, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's what implementation does, is it helps you figure out, okay, I got this whiz-bang thing. What are the reports I'm going to use? How am I going to use it? How am I going to actually, put this thing into motion? But why don't you share just a bit about this, what this process looks like through your experience?
Yeah, so these are some of the areas where XTIVIA can help, right? Where we've seen success, right? So again, you don't have a CRM right now, or you're looking to make the move to a new CRM, right? We want to come in during the pre, stages when you're still trying to figure out what you're going with, who you're working with, help you decide, which CRM might be the best fit for you. If we can, help you, through the actual licensing purchasing process and go in through that. But really, a lot of the focus is identifying, why are you doing this? What's the point of it? What are your needs? What are your requirements? What are your goals? What are you trying to get out of it, both short term and long term, right? So help you understand that and work with not just maybe you, but your different teams. Who's this going to affect, right? So we want to sit down and work with those teams and understand exactly what's important to them. And make sure that from that information, we can architect the right solution for you. Obviously, getting into the implementation, like we talked about earlier, a box system probably isn't going to meet your needs out of the box, right? So you need to actually implement it. So going in, configuring the system to meet your business needs. If there's any customizations that need to happen, obviously you probably have other systems, right? So if it's an old CRM system, are we pulling that data from that into the new system so you have good data to start off with? Maybe it's not just a one-time data migration, but maybe it is an actual integration to your ERP system. So you have live data coming back and forth, and I can see order trends, and I can see all this good stuff, whatever you want to track coming from your ERP. And then it's not on here, but I guess it is on post-implementation. I'll jump ahead a little bit, but training is a big aspect too. The last thing that you want to do is say, okay, guys, we're going live on Monday. Good luck, right? You need to have proper training for each of the team members. And really, the training's got to be tailored towards what their job is and how the system's going to affect that. Not just, hey, here's XCRM, here's all the cool stuff you can do with it. No, it's got to be tailored towards their needs and how they're going to be utilizing the system so they get the most out of it. But real quick, just to touch on, I think I've gone a little long, post-implementation, you got to realize CRM, it should be a never-ending thing. It's a long-term strategy, right? So like I said, phase rollout, start small, start basic, bring on more and more as you get comfortable. What other reports could you see to get out of it? What other features would it be nice to have, right? Talking about marketing automation and campaign management, do you need some outside help to maybe understand what should we be targeting? How should we set up our campaigns? Those are all things that, we and Lynn especially can certainly attest to and help you out with. But, it's an ongoing thing, and it should never be hey, we're live, we're done with CRM, just get in there and work. It's got to be an ongoing development and change as you move forward. So,
well, there's so much to this. I mean, this is the first part of our conversation. This is actually because we had so much. We're going to break this into a two-parter. So, I
could have kept going. Oh yeah,
yeah. I mean, because you're passionate about it. We get excited, right? So next time we're actually going to talk more about digital transformation in manufacturing, the opportunity cost of not having a CRM, what stops manufacturers from getting a CRM or upgrading their current CRM, how to know when a CRM makes sense for a manufacturing company. We're going to be just covering so much more. So there we have it. Come see the next part 2.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Thank you, everyone.
Sure, thank you.
Watch. And as always, we'll have some good links in the description below, so please check those out. And keep an eye out for the next part of this live session series. And thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.